Hey, welcome to America Watch. Today, we're diving into a story that has absolutely rocked the sports world. We're talking about a legend, a true champion who made it to the very top, only to find himself in a crisis that could unravel everything he's ever built. And it really makes you wonder, right? How much can one alleged mistake really tarnish a whole lifetime of success? Okay, so to really get why this is such a huge deal, you gotta understand who we're talking about here. Chauncey Billups. I mean, the guy is a basketball icon. For years and years, his name was basically shorthand for leadership, for being cool under pressure, the kind of respect you have to earn. He wasn't just a great player, you know? He was seen as one of the game's true leaders, the guy you could always count on. But then, October 23rd, 2025, that entire image just shattered. Billups was arrested by the FBI. Suddenly, his name is at the dead center of this massive federal investigation, and it just sent shockwaves through the whole sports world. I mean, everyone, fans, players, you name it, was just completely stunned. So the question on everybody's mind is, how? How did one of the most respected guys in the game end up here? To even start to figure that out, we've got to go back, way back. We need to look at the pretty unbelievable journey of the man who would eventually earn the nickname Mr. Big Shot. You see, before he was a champion, he was what you'd call a journeyman. His path to the top? Oh, it was anything but a straight line. For a long time, it really looked like his story was going to be about unfulfilled promise, a career that was kind of just fizzling out. All right, so check this out. He gets drafted third overall, which is a huge deal, massive expectations. But he just couldn't stick anywhere. In his first 4 years, he was on 4 different teams. 4! For a guy picked that high, that's basically a career death sentence. It's the league telling you, yeah, we've kind of given up on you. And pretty much everyone else agreed. The verdict was in. He was written off. And that label, draft bust, it just stuck to him. He was seen as this talented guy who just couldn't handle the hype, couldn't find a home. And let me tell you, for most players, there was no coming back from that. But then, everything changed. He lands in Detroit. And in 2004, this so-called draft bust does the absolute unthinkable. And he wasn't just some guy on the bench either. No, he was the undisputed leader of this tough, gritty Detroit Pistons team that went on to defy all the odds and win the whole thing, the NBA championship. And get this, he wasn't just along for the ride. He was the NBA Finals MVP. The best player on the court, in the biggest moment of his entire life, going up against a Lakers team that was stacked with superstars. This is where he earned that legendary nickname, Mr. Big Shot. Why? Because he had this incredible, almost supernatural knack for making the biggest plays when the pressure was completely maxed out. And this right here, this quote, it just says everything about the kind of guy people saw him as. He had just won the Finals MVP award, right? The biggest personal moment of his career, and his first thought, his teammates. It just showed everyone what he was all about, a true leader who cared more about the team than about his own shine. So yeah, from being called a bust, he goes on to build this incredible career. NBA champion, Finals MVP, 5-time All-Star, and the cherry on top, a Hall of Famer. I mean, talk about a comeback. He completely rewrote his own story, turning it from one of failure into this amazing tale of perseverance and ultimately victory. So, after his amazing playing career, Chauncey wasn't done with basketball, not by a long shot. In 2021, he starts a brand new chapter as the head coach for the Portland Trail Blazers. The idea was for him to bring all that championship-level experience and leadership to a whole new generation. But, his job in Portland was totally different from his time in Detroit. He wasn't brought there to win a championship right away. Nope. His mission was to lead a rebuild. And what's a rebuild? Well, it's a long-term and honestly often pretty painful strategy where winning right now isn't the goal. You're prioritizing the future. It's all about building for tomorrow. So the whole game plan for the Blazers was just patience. The focus was all on developing their young players, letting them make mistakes, letting them grow. They'd use their G League team to try out new, raw talent and just build a solid foundation. For the people running the team, the final score on any given night, that was way less important than the big picture. And yeah, this strategy meant some pretty tough nights. They were losing a lot of games. But here's the key. That was kind of part of the plan. It was expected. And you have to understand this context. that losing was, in a weird way, part of the official team's strategy, because it is absolutely critical to understanding the insane allegations that were coming next. All right, let's get back to that shocking arrest. It's time to break down what exactly federal prosecutors are accusing him of. And buckle up, because the details in this indictment are just wild. We're talking about a story that connects professional sports with organized crime. Okay, so the federal case basically lays out 4 key allegations. First, there's the scheme. Prosecutors allege Billups was part of these illegal, high-stakes poker games. Second, the connection. These weren't just some friendly games. They were allegedly run by people connected to organized crime. Third, the knowledge. The feds say Billups knew the games were rigged to cheat people out of millions. And fourth, and this is the big one, the betrayal. And this is where his life as a coach and this alleged secret life collide. The indictment talks about an unnamed co-conspirator 8, but the description fits Chauncey Billups to a T. And it claims this person used inside info about his team's strategy, specifically that they were tanking or purposely losing to help other people with their bets. In sports, that is the ultimate sin. You just don't use inside information to mess with the game's integrity. Now, with a story this big, it's super important we separate what we know from what's just being alleged. So what we know for a fact: Chauncey Billups was arrested by the FBI and the NBA put him on leave. That's a fact. What's being alleged is that he knowingly played in rigged poker games and gave out inside info on his team. These are incredibly serious claims, but right now, that's what they are: claims. They haven't been proven. So, you've got one of the most respected names in basketball right in the middle of a federal criminal case. What's really at stake? The short answer? Pretty much everything. The fallout from this is immediate, and it's huge. Let's break it down. His career? It's on hold, and it could be over for good. The team, the Trailblazers' whole rebuilding plan, is thrown into chaos. His reputation? That legacy he built for decades is now seriously tarnished. And this is bigger than just him. It puts the entire NBA in a tough spot, forcing it to look at its close relationship with the world of sports betting. And that brings us right back to the question we started with. And there's really no easy answer here. How do you define a person's legacy? Is it everything they achieved over a lifetime? The championships? The leadership? Or is it defined by their biggest mistake, their lowest point? What do you think really matters more in the end? We really want to know what you all think about this one. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you want more explainers that break down the big stories that matter, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to America Watch. We'd love to have you. Thanks for watching.